phase. What are you looking for both these teams to kind of ban out or protect here?
It's weird just because, the open bracket has been playing very, very differently from how the guys play in the CWL. So I'm pretty sure we're going to have more or less the standard bans, maybe a protector too. But specialists are going to get
crazy
taken now. The craziest thing I think we might see is like the Perk 3 Greed ban. I think that's the previous thing we saw. That you just get so happy every single time. Because obviously S&D, one of the most important things to have is Blast Suppressor and Dead Silence.
Even Tac Mask as well.
Yeah, all very key things. So if you get rid of Perk 3, well, actually, I just want to point it out. We were talking about how replays was so good with the sniper.
Yeah.
I don't know if
he's the one to ban it out.
Yeah, maybe he favors the Locust, or maybe he's saying, hey, I don't want to even mess with this. I think we're just going to be able to beat you guys like straight up. So maybe they're just trying to avoid that sort of situation. But no surprise, Kinetic Armor is also going to go in rapid fire. So except for the sniper, more or less standard bans.
Yeah, I expect to see High Kaliber follow it up shortly. There goes the flashbang from Goonjar. But with the SVG getting banned out, do you even expect Overkill to be targeted here or even used throughout the game?
Maybe if you're scared of the Locust, but no, probably not.
I'm not really too scared of the Locust.
That's what I'm saying. Too many hit markers, especially. I think it's like the midsection and below or something in that regard. But the sniper gets banned. Probably not going to see anything at all. No point in getting rid of Overkill. It would be interesting if they start trying to pick off all of the pistols, but you see Overclock is going to get taken care of, and now there's 3 pistols left. And we've seen that before where teams have gotten rid of the LCAR 9, and they've also gotten rid of the MR 6, and, well, then people just use the RK5. So High Kaliber is going to bite the bullet, and we are just waiting for Sharp to make that final ban.
Shiva's still in play. Maybe we see that get banned out, but the option is pretty limited here for Sharp. As time's starting to wind down here, let's see what he decides to go for. And because the flashbang, the concussion, they get banned out, there's really no reason to be running Tac Mask. And it's going to be a Heat Wave ban from Sharp. Active Camo still in play. Overdrive still in play. We saw Kelly use that in the previous series. But Overdrive on Search and Destroy, I've seen it make some plays, but I'm not really too sold on it yet, Chance.
I feel like I've seen it fail way more than it's actual beneficial. When I say fail, I mean all the time, especially in S&D. People take Overdrive, they sprint up to a spot that, the rush is already there anyway, and then they just remain stationary. Because it's so, the pro teams are so good that they're going to have the map covered anyway. Yeah. So I feel like there's not really anything too sneaky you can do with Overdrive. Potentially use it in like a 1v1 situation if you need to get to the bomb site quick or run away. I know
Theory's going to pick up Overdrive, so we'll see how it's used.
We can go back to the play that Chino had earlier on where he had to go basically all the way across like the A bomb site on Redwood.
John
he had Overdrive, almost gets all the way back. So I think we're going to see players kind of drift away from using it on the opening breaks to using it situationally later on in rounds.
I was about to bring that up. Every time we see these players use Overdrive, it's in like the first 1 to 2 seconds of a round, where I think there's a lot to be experimented with saving it for the later rounds. And Spacey, of course, he's going to go after that glitch. I love watching Spacey with glitch. I've seen him make some sick plays with it. Let's see if he can make one here.
And glitch to me is kind of like the way people use Overdrive now. Like it can be beneficial, but it's so tricky, and it seems like
it's tough to find a consistent use out of glitch.
Yeah, it's so tough to tell. You can make the most amazing plays, or you can glitch, and the enemy is just like, oh, you're back. Let me just kill you. Like I think we've seen Clayster do that too. He's like he's so close to being right behind a guy, and then he just luck of the draw ends up right in front. So other ones are always a little bit more consistent. You always know what you're going to get out of active camo. You know what you're going to get out of vision pulse.
Yeah.
People don't use the scythe in S&D, where not yet at least. I don't know if that's. I
prefer an Annihilator in Search.
Really? Why is that?
Well, I'm just thinking back to the Totino's land. Slack getting that big round. I think I would love to see the specialist weapons in Search and Destroy, but they just take so long to earn, especially with Overclock being banned out. I doubt you'll start seeing them anytime soon, but it's still something that I wouldn't mind seeing experimented with.
I think if anything, potentially you might even see like a Ripper. Like I know it's the
Ripper,
the A bomb site, the one that's inside of Dub. I never know between A and B, but that bomb site, incredibly close range. You see people sliding in there to challenge with the SMGs all the time, but that's a good place for a shotgun. The Ripper, even you get a ridiculous lunge. I'm not saying that's going to be the case, but if you're trying to go towards the weapons, why not use the Ripper? You can get it like 17 times when you're playing S&D. I think it's like the shortest specialist time in the game. So, maybe something to think about. That's not happening now. This has absolutely nothing to do with the task at hand, but I just like to drift way off topic sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, speaking a bit more about the shotguns, I mean, we see Aqua use the Overkill Argus, quite a few times. And every time we talk about Overkill, it seems to be with the sniper rifle. But you could certainly use something like a M8 Overkill Argus. give you some utility around the map. That's something I wouldn't put past these players.
I will say, the Argus, since it got the increased lethality
Good,
range
right?
buff, it's basically a sniper rifle. So, like, overkill is in play. You might as well have the Argus sniper in your back pocket. Of course, you do have to kind of aim down the sights to make that, like, slug round appear for that to happen. But we've seen pros do dirty things before. That could potentially be a thing. But, of course, Fringe S&D is going to get fired up here shortly. I got to ask Revan, you've seen these guys play quite often. Who do you favor for S&D?
I think going into this match, I think for the most part, it's an even matchup for me, and I fully expect this to go all the way to like Game 6, Game 7 before we see our winner. But in this specific Search and Destroy, I think it's tough to go against Team Kaliber, man. Search and Destroy is their bread and butter game mode. This is what we know these guys for. And I'm going to be expecting them to take this map.
Yeah, I was going to say, I got TK all the way in this regard.
TK all day?
TK all day. Throw in your hashtags, tweet at UMG events, whatever it is you need to do to support your team. Weirdly enough, though, or not too weird, we are going to see an A push straight away. John going to get that first blood, and Saints gets the second. So we said TK was going to win, but this round looks like it's going to be all Luminosity. They already have complete control of this A bomb site. John's nades are coming to effect. They're getting revenge.
No flak jacket
for
from the guys on
TK?
TK?
Apparently not. Maybe they're going to have to switch their classes for the next round if these nades are still coming in full force, but we already have a 1v4. Well, we saw an almost 1v4 earlier, but I think it's going to be a little bit different. In theory, it's probably just going to die in a second.
Yeah,
and there it is.
Go. So pretty straightforward round from Luminosity. They push out the A bomb site. They work the trades in their favor. I mean, Sharp, he kind of had some help from the player over near the A bomb site, but he was kind of left out in the dust, man, over near the junkyard. And, when you're fighting 3 players coming at you, it can get kind of overwhelming. But LG just doing a great job throwing that out early. And I love that they decided to go A early on in the round or early on in the game, because that's going to play in the back of TK's mind, right? In the future defensive rounds they're going to have. They're going to have a bit more of a presence over there. Yeah,
and I also appreciate the aggression that they just exemplified in that moment, because they got the first blood, and then they just kept pushing. They waste absolutely no time. But TK going to try and strike back. Of course, they are going to have to get the first blood, but looks like that player, since he got stunned out, is going to get spotted. Still,
no flak
jacket coming into play, as you said. Gunjar, though, does get the trade, and Neslo going to win that close-range engagement. So now TK looks like they're going to get the bomb down. There is a player that might come
this could get scary here.
He's going to get one. If he gets the second, that is not going to be the case. Neslo making sure to get the trade. Situation we saw Killa in earlier, where they just stand so close to the bomb planter. But either way, TK wasting absolutely no time. They knew Spacely was aware, at least for the moment, the bomb was over by A.
And Spacely just got spotted. He might have just saw Neslo go towards the B bomb site, so that's really valuable information for Spacely. He could at least close the gap between him and these players. Might actually get this player off the bomb. Doesn't pick up the kill. Gunjar's there with the cover fires. TK answer back.
Yeah, Spacely might have spotted them, but I think they might have seen him as well, because you can see Gunjar just had pre-aim, pretty much the only place he could have came from. So he doesn't even get the kill on the bomb planter. So the only reason that would be important, potentially the bomb planter on a little bit of a streak. He didn't get the bomb down, so it's not a huge deal, but it's always important to take as many players as you can with you before you die, or you can just jump off the map, but that's normally when the bomb actually gets planted. But either way, tied 1-1, TK bounce back.
Dude, John is a playmaker. Like, every time I watch this guy play, he's able to make something big happen, especially in game modes like Search and Destroy. So LG, they found a lot of success over near the A-bomb side the first time. And TK, man, I was just talking about it. They need a bit more of a presence over here, as they're going to do a 3-man stack. Neslo's there with first blood. Sharp responds with another, and this push is effectively shut down by Team Kaliber. The bomb has been dropped. Moving back over to LG replays, trying to get in position to make something happen.
Well, he is already completely behind enemy lines. Of course, you did see that HC card did get called in. Replays, though, going to see how long he takes to come on this flank. You see he's going to be trying to pinch out the bomb site a little bit slowly with Saints. And, well, he's going to get about as good of timing as you could possibly ask for. Going to wait for it just a little bit in case he can get any more information, but he does even the odds at a 2v2. Of course, Saints is going to be coming from the side. It looks like Theory's going to go shoot him in the back. Saints, though, wins the gunfight on Neslo. So now the tables have turned, and Theory's going to be the one in a 1v2. And it looks like he got spotted right there. Saints and Replay is going to be hunting him down.
They're just going to fight the 1-on-2.
And they're going to push him around. Theory, though, doing a decent job to run away, and it looks like they're doing to TK what TK did to them, rotating the bomb over towards B.
Yeah, I think Theory should start rotating here very shortly, but this round fell apart for Team Kaliber. I mean, they stopped that A bomb site push. They have the man advantage. They just don't work the numbers. They don't work the trades. As Theory, he's going to find one, takes down Replay, so it's a 1-on-1. Saints versus Theory. Saints has the jump on him, putting in some shots. He's going to miss a little bit, but cleans it up in the end. A little bit of a scary moment there for Saints, but He winds up cleaning up the kill onto Theory as LG had put another round on the board.
Yeah, it was sort of a similar situation the previous round that we saw Space lose in, where it's a 1v2, the bomb is going down over by the barn bomb site. I still can't remember if it's A or B, but whatever. The only difference between this time is Spacely was able to get the information, so he actually knew the play he had to make. That, of course, did not happen the previous round. The player for TK was left just having to challenge the bomb after it gets planted. A little bit tougher stuff going on, but again, TK won their last offensive round. We're going to see if they can double up and make it 2, and they're going back to A, and there's only one player on defense for Luminosity over there.
Yeah, Nade's coming in. Luckily, that nade misses the window, but they know this player's over near the back alley. Nade's coming out to try to force him back. Fortunately, that player has flak jacket, but, you know, they effectively push him back so they could safely take control of the junkyard as they make their way over towards the A bomb site. But Luminosity, they're starting to rotate over. They're starting to gain some position. Saints opens things up with first blood onto Neslo.
Yep, and of course, working from the disadvantage, they're going to have to make something happen. The HC guard got called in. Theory, though, was able to pick that up very, very quickly, so he's going to have a nice 75 points building towards those streaks. But you can see there's even a player right now for Luminosity going on the full flank, but the gunfight's going down over in Junk. Theory is going to be able to win one, going to even the odds up to 3v3. The player on Luminosity needs to flank pretty quickly. That's going to be Spacely. He picks up one. Two. He's going to find the second, going to have the third, not facing him, but of course, John was able to pick that one up. So that's the situation where TK, in my opinion, just plays a little bit too slow.
Yeah.
They had 4v1 situation over by the bomb side. I think it was only replays that was sent there. But by the time that TK finally started to make moves, there was even a player that was able to run all the way around the map. So TK just not taking advantage of the speed.
I think whenever you're going to decide to push that A bomb site, you need some sort of presence early on inside bricks. If you allow the other team enough time to rotate over, you're just going to get cornered in over near the junkyard, and that's exactly what happened. Spacey came around the flank. TK didn't seem to be watching. He's able to pick up 2, makes it a 1v3. It's now going to be LG once again. They'll be pushing the A bomb site, but they have Saints here with the Psychosis. It's going to act like bait. They know this player's only in the back alley, and Saints, he's actually able to push right on through. Could open things up with first blood, but no, it's going to be Gunjar finds John. Saints is there for the trade kill. As now LG trying to find their way into the bomb site.
And you can see TK trying to do something similar on defense. There's one player going on the flank, of course. Neslo did win one gunfight, but it looks like Replays is going to kill Sharp. Theory, though, the last player was the guy coming on the flank. We got a 1v1 Theory going against Saints. Theory, of course, it looks like he picked up a VMP to have in his back pocket, but he was rocking the M8. Saints is going to be pushing out the challenge instead of planting the bomb. Going to get timing if he sees the corner. He didn't see him. He's going to turn aside.
Whoa, okay.
Saints, thank you, Saints. For the love of God, man, open your eyes, but he got the kill. Lucky for him that Theory didn't turn to his left either, but there you can even see again in the final.
He was like, oh, is that a player? Or is there some bricks? What's that?
You know, what probably happened, Saints didn't see him at all, and his teammates are just assuming that he saw him. Dude. Like, yeah, go back and kill him, man. What are you doing? But nonetheless, Luminosity, we said TK was going to be pretty good in search, but it's been nothing but LG
all Saints
so far. Yeah, really been carrying the team. Mr. Consistent, as you would say, but TK has yet to find an answer. They've gone to A every single time thus far. Looks like they're trying to switch things up. Now headed towards that B bomb site. Let's see if they play quicker.
So Theory does have his overdrive, not using it here. Solid shots as he does connect with some hit markers on that player near the back rock, but Saints opens things up once again as he shuts down Nezo early on in the round. Sharp is there to trade the kill. It's not TK. They have control of the bomb site, but you got to worry about those back rocks. You got to worry about top barn. It's going to be John up there cleaning up Sharp.
And it seems like every single time TK leaves themselves in a position where they're working from the man disadvantage. And as that happens, Theory was left in a 1 versus 3 or 4, something ridiculous, and he's going to get cleaned up almost instantaneously. So that is just another Luminosity round where they are just in complete control the entire time. They are playing at their own pace, and TK just has not had an answer so far.
You know, Luminosity is doing a great job of just stalling the TK push. Every time TK decide to go to a bomb site, Luminosity hold them there, and then they send one player on the flank. And TK, they have not been ready for the flank in any of these rounds. I mean, last round it was Spacely, last round it was Replays before it was Spacely. As now LG, they have a chance to close out the game right here in round number 7.
Well, TK decided to try and meet them with aggression of their own, but they met that with an HC card to the face. And again, as you said, that's the 3rd or 4th time they've been killed by an explosive. So TK is trying to mix things up.
And Replays, look at where he is. B bomb site completely clear. We'll find a kill over near top barn. They're going to go right for this bomb plant.
Yeah, and Gunjar was not ready for that at all. He was switching weapons. Replays is just on the complete opposite side of the map, completely causing problems for TK. And even now, Replays way off to the side as that bomb is getting planted. Of course, TK going to be making moves quickly. There's a player that tried to get the kill. He glitched out, saving his own life. That's going to make things tougher. Neslo's going to get shot in the back, slides away. Replays gets that final cleanup kill because Replays is always going to be on the flank, it seems like, at least in this match. And that is Luminosity Luminosity in complete control the entire time. It seemed like they almost did every single thing they possibly could do absolutely perfectly. The HC car at the start of the round worked perfectly to counter TK's aggression. The glitch at the end saved the player's life just as they could guarantee closing this game out early.
I mean, there are a couple of crucial nade kills that came from the side of Luminosity, as well as that HC at the beginning of that final round. Really no flak jacket used by the guys of Team Kaliber, at least from theory. He's the player I saw the most out of, but it seemed like throughout that entire search and destroy, LG were just one step ahead of Team Kaliber.
And it's one of those things that you're playing against a top team, you're definitely going to be having to try to make as many minute adjustments as possible throughout the duration, not of just the series, but the individual game. So if TK is not going to be taking advantage of that, Luminosity is just going to continue to hammer them. So, I mean, we saw a pretty close first hard point. TK was down by a little bit at the start. They made a comeback, made it interesting. It didn't pan out. That S&D was just brutal.
I mean, I'm surprised that hardpoint was that close despite TK being severely outside, but that search and destroy, it really wasn't close at all. LG, that, like I said, it really seems like they were a step ahead of TK in every single round. And, you know, if you're TK, you need to slow things down a little bit, right? Going into this next matchup, you got to find a way to shut down Saints. Got to find a way to shut down John. And you need somebody to step up from your team. I'm looking for Gunjar. We were talking a bit about him in the hardpoint. He had a really good start, but he kind of slowed down as the game progressed.
I think a key thing for TK is going to be how well can they hear their opponent? Will they be able to use sound to their advantage? Because, of course, these Astro headsets are fantastic in their ability to use it to your advantage in-game. Again, it's all about these minute details when you're talking about two top-level teams. So if you have the best sound quality available, every advantage helps.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely for sure. I use Astros myself.
Do you really? How do you like them?
I love them.
Okay.
Couldn't really complain.
I mean,
I love Astro headsets.
That's cool.